Let's get into the papers now, see what the headlines are. And to make sense of some of the headlines we have on the papers this morning, I have journalist Dario Dufowoko. He's here with me. Good morning and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Great. And we also have Ife Nyegbule is back again. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you, really. Let's begin with the Leadership newspaper. Leadership says Northern elders flay Ondo governor over quit notice. Northern elders flay Ondo governor over quit notice, urges Akeredolu to reverse decision on herdsmen, and presidency ignorant of our predicament. As the governor is saying this, Afenifere accuses federal government of taking sides. Okay, and that controversy has been on. Now, Daily Independent is the next one we're looking at. Now, Ondo dares presidency, insists herdsmen must quit forests. Ondo dares presidency, insists herdsmen must quit forests, and says presidency ignorant of state security situation, and farmers slam presidency Mieti Allah over comments, and northern elders ask herders to disregard ultimatum. All right, that's the Daily Independent. Daily Times, outrage over federal government stance on herdsmen in forests. Outrage over federal government stance on herdsmen in forests. And that still refers to the Ondo issue. Business Day is next now, and it says Nigerians groan under weight of 2 economic recessions. Nigerians groan under weight of 2 economic recessions. That's Business Day. Blueprint newspaper is next. A Blueprint says it is 78-year-old Biden at inauguration as 46th U.S. president. We will put America back together again. That's what he's promising. Promises to press forward with the speed, urgency, and Harris makes history as first female VP of the United States. And Nigeria will work with new leadership, as President Buhari is saying that. All that on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. We'll put America back together again. All right. Then national economy is next. National economy says Nigeria's forex market, $30 billion obtained from unofficial sources concern over exchange rate differentials. $30 billion obtained from unofficial sources raises concern over exchange rate differentials. Okay, that's the national economy. Now, the Nation newspaper says presidency Ondo governor herders eviction row grows. Lawyers, groups back Akeredolu, and notes elders ask herdsmen to stay. Okay, that's the Nation newspaper. This Daily Sun says, quit notice to herdsmen in Ondo, Yoruba, northern elders lock horns. I only asked unregistered herders to vacate forests, says the governor. And Fulani youths, Arewa elders kick. All right, that's the Daily Sun. Nigerian Tribune says fireworks over Ondo quit notice to herders. And Akeredolu has a constitutional right to issue quit notice. Gani Adams saying this. And Ondo government cautions federal government against defending criminals. A stand with Akeredolu, Afenifere charges Southwest governors. And illegal occupancy amounts to criminal trespass, Ogunye tells herdsmen. And fish out bad eggs among Fulani instead of quit notice, Northern Elders Forum tells Akeredolu. All right, that's the Nigerian Tribune. The Vanguard, ultimatum to herdsmen, YCE, Afenifere Middle Belt Forum, SANS, back Ondo governor. All that's still on the same issue there. The Daily Trust is next. It says ripples over Akeredolu's quit notice to herdsmen, directive provocative, and then Northern Elders Forum is saying that, and Afenifere others, okay, governor's order. The presidency not aware of our predicaments. Ondo governor is saying this. Ondo farmers, Mieti Allah, back state government. Okay, all this on the front page of the Daily Trust. The Punch newspaper, SANS, the senior advocate of Nigeria, or senior advocates of Nigeria. Afenifere back Akeredolu, fault presidency. Northern Elders Forum disagrees. Akeredolu acting within his powers. Ali is saying this, and don't politicize security. SAN tells federal government, and federal government shone Southwest governor's alarm on herdsmen's menace, says YCE. And Buhari shows no pretense that he's representing Fulani interests. Afenifere is saying this. All that on the front page of the Punch. News Direct is next. Federal government approves 65 years retirement age for teachers. The Minister of Education is revealing this. Secures $500 billion to educate adolescent girls. Okay. All right. All these stories about developments in Ondo State when the governor gave quick notice to herders or people who claim to be herders within the forests in Ondo State to leave. And this is causing ripples. Dari, let me start with you. I wonder why this is causing so much controversy.
Yeah, it's causing controversy largely because, one, the governor, by most reports, have been misquoted. That's one.
Okay.
Secondly, the current arrangement in our country vis-a-vis the call for restructuring is another reason. I'll start with the first one. The governor did not give quick notice to anybody, but check all the papers. Nearly all of us are saying he's asking herders to leave on those days. He didn't say that. The directive was very clear. Leave the reserves. One, the forest reserve is actually a place where we want to keep grain. Two, he also said there are farmers legally farming in the reserves, and they are following a certain procedure. You want to farm in our reserve, apply, we will allocate land to you, you will pay certain amount of money, then you adhere strictly by certain rules and regulations. And the government is saying farming is farming, be it crop farming or animal husbandry or cattle rearing. You want to farm in a reserve, come and apply. For every Fulani herdsman or any herdsman from any state, be it Soko herdsman or Ijebu herdsman, that is in the forest, come out, apply to stay there, we'll give you the necessary papers, you pay the necessary fees. We are going to achieve two things with that, or three, or four, or five. Money comes into government purse. We get to know those who are in the forest. Those who are in the forest also get to know themselves. Thirdly, we ensure security. Once you are in the forest as a Benue herdsman, and I'm in the forest as an Ijebu herdsman, and she is also there as Igbo herdsman, whatever part of the forest we are inhabiting, we know ourselves.
Exactly.
So if somebody goes kidnapping or robbing on the highway and running in, when the security people come, we can easily, if we cannot say it openly, we can drop a hint that he did it.
He's not our member.
He's not one of us. That man did it. So I think if what the governor said has actually been put in the right perspective, maybe we will not be having this debate.
Right.
He's not asking people to quit. He's not saying you don't have a right to stay in Ondo State. He's saying you want to stay here and do your business, do it legally. We have our rules. We have our rules. Having said that, the response by Garba Shehu, I will not join anybody to say that is the presidency's response. I am waiting for a senior official, a more senior official of the presidency to clear the air or confirm what Garba Shehu has said.
Yeah, but
that is yet to happen.
If he's the spokesman,
he is not the only spokesman of the president.
Yeah, but there are many times he has issued statements.
And there are many times he has come out to apologize.
All right, so maybe you want to wait for his apology?
Or a confirmation of what he has said by a more senior official of the presidency. But if we are to go by what he has said, then that is the whole thing about clamor for restructuring. The president is saying, no, Mr. Governor, you cannot say that. How and why? The state is a federating unit. It is a federating unit, and the governor, as the chief executive of his state, should know what his powers are.
All right.
And Akeredolu is a senior advocate of Nigeria. I am sure he checked the books properly.
He knows what the law says.
He knows what the law is saying.
Okay, now from what Dari has said, it means there is something wrong with communication here. where if that is not what the governor says or means, and then it is quoted out of context, or maybe the issue of, okay, I've issued out a statement, and then because there's a reaction, or maybe there's a backlash, no, that is not how I meant, this is what I meant, and then trying to repair so that people understand. What is wrong with people, with the first statement going out or the first message going out, people getting it for what it is? What's that challenge?
Remember what it is when, you know, someone's waiting. Some people are waiting for you to kind of air as it is. Okay. But as Dari has said, he hasn't aired in any way. That's a man who understands what the law is. And for me, the conversation we're having now, I want to read on the pages of newspapers that every other governor in the South has actually joined forces with Governor Akeredolu to say, look, this is what must be done. I don't see why we need to play politics or games with the lives of people. It's just that people hear what they want to hear. People read what they want to read. And I'm surprised that papers are portraying it that the man says, leave Ondo State. He never said that. The idea is come out and regularize what it is that you're doing, so we know who is who. Yeah. When something goes wrong, someone can point to say, this is exactly the person who
did it. It's even for your own good. Yeah.
Now, he talked about the issue of Garba Shehu. I'm sick and tired of hearing when something goes wrong. I didn't vote for Garba Shehu. He's not the president, for crying out loud. Look at what happened during the Kankara boys, you know, abduction. He came out to say only 10 boys. Why are you people making noise? Only 10 boys were taken away. Even if it was just one person. You can't come out and say only 10 boys. These are people's children. Yes, he came out later to say, okay, this was what I said. But he was a peddler of fake news. We talk about fake news all of the time. That one emanated from him. So I think he should talk less. And as Dari has said, I'm not waiting. He says he's waiting for a more senior official to come out. This is the spokesperson of the president.
Exactly.
He needs to understand that whatever he says, it's ascribed to the president. And he couldn't have said it without the president. But why are they always...
Let me remind you that Garba Shehu is senior special assistant on media to Mr. President. There is a special advisor.
So why is the special advisor not talking?
There is a minister of information in that government.
Yeah, but let's take it away from the personality of Garba Shehu.
Mike, what I'm trying to say is they need to look at the value of what it is that Akeredolu has talked about. The man has made sense. And there is nothing, practically nothing wrong in saying, come out and regularize your stay right there in the forest. It is the right thing to do, and I think other governors should support him. If the governors in the South do, if they don't support him, then you know there's something wrong. But remember the Amotekun issue.
Yeah, but why should it be governors in the South? Why is that not playing into that division more if we talk about governors in the South?
But you have the Hisba police and the things that they do and how they get to apprehend people and how they get to tell people to be, you know, accountable for the things that they do. Why wouldn't you let the people decide how they want to secure themselves? We're talking about lives and property here. Every day you hear about one person kidnapped, somebody killed, and all of that. No, we don't have to continue like that.
All right.
Now, we need to do things and do it right.
Dari, the point there is this issue creates an opening, and it points us back to the call for restructuring that everyone has been talking about, and then state policing as well as community policing and all of that. Basically, where do you think, or what do you think should be done what can be done to put an end to all of these when things like this happen, and then you see people from certain section or region of the country saying something, and then others are united in another region of the country say. The point there is every Nigerian has the right to be anywhere you want to be within the country as far as the constitution is concerned. You know,
and respect the laws of the land.
No, of course.
Yeah. You have to be there constitutionally because it is the constitution that empowers your being there. So where you're being there and the things you do are now infringements on the rights of other Nigerians. Your being there will have to be called to question. And that is where the issue of restructuring comes in. How do we want to live together as a people? We want, look, when we check the constitution, I say we, the people of Nigeria. It is simply because we agreed to be one people. We are different persons. individually, group-wise, ethnically, tribally. We are different. But we are subsuming our differences and saying...
And pledging our allegiance
to
the oneness of a country.
When we do that, it's usually based on certain rules and regulations. It is when we fail to adhere by those rules, we have issues
frictions
like this. Now, what should we do? I'll be referring to something if you already said. Governors in the South should support this kind of move.
Why?
By Akeredolu.
Why?
I am not one of those who believe that somebody...
The issue of governors in the South.
I'm about to explain.
Okay.
I'm not one of those who believe that somebody somewhere, not even the federal government, is stopping the governors in any state from carrying out what they need to do to make the life of their people better. I'm one of those who believe that our governors have not done enough to show dedication and seriousness to some things they are mounting. And I say governors in the South because go to the North. The Hisbah police, very effective, very active. I have not seen the federal government saying no. The federal government advised when Amotekun was going to start, do it this way, do it this way. The state governments in the South, at least in the Southwest, complied, did what they had to do, then they put in place Amotekun. What have you heard about Amotekun seriously since then? I've not heard that the federal government said they should stop it. But most of our governors did were pass the law, had a ceremony where they wear different kind of funny outfits, and then that's the last we hear about it. Here in Lagos,
they were undergoing training.
Here in Lagos,
a period of training.
I'm yet to hear anything about Amotekun. Ogun is as silent as possible on Amotekun. Osun is making some noise these days. What did Oyo do? A ceremony. If any state has put Amotekun to task, it is Ondo, and I give it to Akeredolu for that. I've been in Ondo, and I see Amotekun getting involved. A lot of rescue missions. So if he has practiced this community policing thing, and he understands what the problems are, if you look at one of the reasons for that directive, in my opinion, is the need for community policing to be effective. I'm sure in the course of Amotekun carrying out its duties in Oyo, in Ondo, maybe perhaps they went into that reserve, there were some clashes. Now they need to streamline it. You need to understand who the legal inhabitants and the illegal ones are, so that there will not be a case of misplaced attack. If the Amotekun or any other security agents, for that matter, goes into the reserve, they should be able to know, oh, this person is here legally. By how? Identification. Bring out your papers. This is what I got from the government. These are the areas allocated to. 1. 2, farmers are in that same reserve. Herders want to stay there. How are we not going to be having farmer-herder clash if they continue to operate illegally and without rules? Okay, we have given this area to farmers. Don't graze your animals there. Go this way. Look, we have given these areas to herders. Don't go and plant things there. Regulations. So what we need to do is to regulate how we want to live together. That every Nigerian can live anywhere is established. But how do we, you and I, how do we live together in the same place without clash? That is the essence of this discussion. And that is what we should do. All the governors should impress it on Mr. President or the federal government now as a body that, look, it is important that we draw the lines. We are not asking, the same thing, look at in Oyo, somebody woke up one morning, a self-acclaimed freedom fighter, and gave 7 days ultimatum to some set of people to leave certain areas of state. If we don't address these things, we'll create problems. How is he able to do that? Because he feels, look, these people are attacking my people. They are kidnapping my people. They are the ones committing crime. But the governor responded by saying, you can't do that. Because every Nigerian is free to
reside anywhere.
If every Nigerian is free, if you're residing in his town using him as an example, is now a source of worry for him. If you don't find a way of cautioning and correcting the situation,
All right.
there will be breakdown of law and order.
All right. If the point there is, I'm going to take you to the issue of communication as you round off now. The point there is, if the appropriate and the right information is given out in the right way, it will reduce some of this seeming friction here and there. What should be considered when these kind of messages are going out?
I would want to say that the governor has done the right thing. He sent out the message, or put out the message in the simplest of terms that anyone can understand, as long as you don't have any hidden agenda. He has said what he said. Because while we're talking, I was thinking about it, you know, at some point during the fast, when the Muslims have their fast in the north, they say to you, I have people who live there also, they say, look, you cannot bring food to eat on your own, even though you're not a Muslim.
In public.
You can't eat food in public there, which shouldn't be. People don't restrict you or say, don't do this because you're in our community. I have a Yoruba doctor who lives in my village in Mbise. He's about the best. He went there for youth service. He's got married. He has children there. They gave him a land. He built a house, built a hospital. And when I look at Dr. Adelaja, I say to him, will you ever go home? He said, this is home
This
to
is
me.
home, of course.
This is where
This
I
is
am.
home. This is home.
And that's what it should be. Nigerians should be free to live wherever they want to live. So when you talk about communication, I really don't know how simple it's going to be than what it is that the gentleman in Ondo State has done.
Okay.
It's just for us to be tolerant and understand that we have to live as one. And we need to take a look at that issue of restructuring. That is exactly what might solve the problem of Nigeria.
Okay, we have to leave it here. Thank you so much, Ifeonye Gule, for your insight into this. Dario Dufo, thank you so much. Thank you. Right.